Hello, fellow weebs, and Otaku's episode of Anime Fix, where you're your fix for all things anime. I'm Chase.
I'm Lance,
Hi, Lance.
and this is another week of solo leveling. What do you got? A most amazing anime of all time.
You think so? You think it surpasses everything for you now? It's only took what, 6 episodes?
Um, I mean it's getting up there. Like everything from storytelling and how they're introducing new concepts and ideas and stuff. It's not like it started off you don't know anything, and then they give you a little, then they give you everything you need to know, and then it's just finishing out the story, right? Like they're holding back, and you're learning stuff. It's like you're in the same position as the main character. You're as he learns more, you learn more, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm pulling up Soul Leveling now to see what episode we started off at, because before this, it was like what we had like a little discussion, and we can agree to disagree how to say it, but I think we're 3 episodes behind.
If that's what you want, if it makes you feel better.
What makes you feel better? All right, because the
Yeah.
last one we talked about, it was I've got to get stronger, right? We talked about that one, didn't we?
Yeah, that's when he was putting all his XP points into strength.
Oh, okay. So we're only 2 episodes behind then.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So you were right.
That's
Right?
okay. I guess, yeah. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. Because do we talk about what the episode from last night? There's a lot of things I want to talk about there, or do we want to rehash the previous?
I mean, not a lot happened in number 5, right? It's called like a pretty good deal. It's just him working out in a hospital, risen up some nurses, and then you know going through picking out a dungeon. Just
Remember
basic
him
like
leaving?
background stuff, right?
I loved, yes, basic background stuff. I loved when that one nurse was like, "May I please give you my contact information?" And we know that it's because she's like, "Oh God, he's so hot. I want him
Yeah.
reach out to me." And he's like, "Oh, I guess she wants to like follow up with me, make sure my injuries are healing fine." So he doesn't even think anything of
Yeah,
it.
I don't know any nurse that does that.
Yeah.
Like a specific
Um,
nurse.
it reminds me kind of Steve Rogers in the first Avenger. He's this little scrawny guy,
Yeah.
and he goes in and he comes out all like beefcake, and then like all the all the women, and there, especially the one captain,
Agent Carter.
uh, yeah, are like just like they're all twinkle eyed looking at him and everything like that, and he sort of just is oblivious to the fact that they're interested in him. So
Yeah, it was
it
wild.
reminded me of that. Yeah, yeah. So it was mostly background information, and then we get to. I'm starting to blend things together. Was that
I know.
that episode the same episode where he started in the instance dungeon, or was that
I
uh
think he just walked out of the instant dungeon, didn't he?
yeah, because that's when he took down
He
that golem, right?
Yeah, he took down the golem.
Yeah. So yeah, so I guess we can get really right into the most recent
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, because like end of that episode, he goes and forms a party, like a random party, with him and Eugen, I think is his name, the guy that wears
Yeah.
the armor, and I think he's a D rank, but like he's
Yeah.
wearing like B or
Really
A rank armor.
yeah, really expensive armor, and they go in there and the guy's like, "Yeah, we just need to fill out our
Or party.
minimum requirement."
Yeah, to
So,
take on this dungeon. And
mhm.
you don't get a good feeling, from them at the like. I would say it's not bad like the very first time that Sun Jin Woo meets him, but like I would say like 5 minutes into the dungeon, you're like, oh, this is kind of suspicious.
Yeah, yeah,
No
yeah.
healer, right? There's no healer.
Yeah, that's really weird. Like, why would you go into this dungeon with no healer, right?
Yeah, and
Um,
then it just cuts and stops at that. Well, no, it doesn't
I
stop
wonder
at that. I mean, it
I
stops
wonder if
at
he had upped his perception stat a little bit more.
yeah, if you would have figured it
He
out
would have, like,
faster.
picked up on that, yeah, figured it out faster. But
So
anyway.
so at the end of 5, what happens is they get to the boss at the end of the dungeon, and then obviously the rest of the party betrays him and the D rank guy
Mhm.
and blows up the entrance, crashes down, and there's a giant spider that Sun Jin Woo pretty much has to defeat by himself, and then that's where episode 6 starts.
Yep. And I was honestly they kept doing these, like, little side stories, and it only made me go, "I swear to God, if you don't finish this episode, if you don't give me,"
What side stories?
um, well, like that one, I think that S rank hunter, or they're talking about two different guilds or whatever. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention because I just wanted to get back
Oh my goodness. You gotta pay
to the
attention to that stuff,
dungeon.
though. It's important.
I
Fills out the
know it's
backstory.
important, but it had hyped me up. I was super invested to see where it was gonna go, and then you pull out of that story to tell this other story. I don't care at this point. Just get back to the main character, Jinwoo. But anyway, yeah, go ahead and talk about that since I barely paid attention.
Oh, you're good. So, like, I'm trying to remember because I watched it last night. It goes to, the S rank, hunter. I think it looked at, Shahin, right? The girl? Is that what
Yeah.
it went to? And then I think it also mentioned, a girl that I originally thought was Sun Jin Woo's sister, but then I figured out that she doesn't have purple hair. I was like, okay, that's not her. And there was talk. They all sat down in a coffee shop and talking about the Hunters Guild and the White Tiger Guild, and just
Yep. Yep.
talking about how training with Sha Rin, who is the S rank hunter, and she seems like she's like a little bit higher than most S ranks or at S rank, with all the other guys. Because
Mhm.
S rank and A rank, there's such like a big difference between. There's such a big gap. So going to going to that, it shows like all the A ranks were struggling with this monster in the dungeon, and then she just demolishes them in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really impressive. But this is the one too that we meet where she does that kick-ass fight scene in the middle of the street, and then she just sort of
yeah,
puts on her ball cap. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and runs away.
Um,
And then there's another
yeah.
side story with
The Hunters
the
Guild.
the hunters.
The
Was it?
guy
Is it? It's not the Hunters Guild, right? It's the Hunters Association. Because the Hunters Guild
uh
is the one that the fire dude is the main guy of.
so I'm thinking of the older guy, the one that said early on is like,
Yeah,
be afraid of these dungeons.
Gungo.
He
Yeah,
goes off he goes off on I guess he's distracted and the person driving him says, "Hey, let me, let's go fight," basically, and to take your mind off of things. But for an old dude, he sure is
he's an S rank.
strong, like
He's an S rank,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
the guy he's fighting is an A rank.
Mhm. He brings up, that just because you can't this is, another play on, Jinwoo's secret sauce, going in here is you can still hone your skills even if you can't up your rank, right?
Yeah,
Which we know that in this situation is not true. Um, so I want to point something out. So I've talked to people about solo leveling, right?
yeah.
And I've talked about how
I
great
know the whole
Jinwoo
series,
is,
so
and how it's another awesome story of a guy who is born um, into lower status, lower class, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't have his potential is hindered, right? and
Yeah.
how he gets an opportunity to exceed that and overcome those obstacles. And I've been telling people a lot about that. I'm like, yeah, he's a solid hero of the story and everything like that. And then I'm telling people about this. I'm playing up, and then we come here, and then we see him just destroy all six. Or was it six or four? I think it was six.
There's 6 of them.
Yeah,
You're
six.
kinda getting your head of yourself though, right? We're talking about the boss first, or you just wanna, like, jump around in the episode?
We can talk about the boss first. Go ahead.
No, 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 you're good.
I'll
I
let
mean,
you.
you're so excited to talk about that. You're so excited to talk about that. We'll talk about the boss after. But
No, no, no.
so
Let's go
so
in order. Let's talk about the boss.
no, no, no. It, you're one half of this podcast, Lance. Your opinion matters as well. Okay. What do you mean you were telling people like how he's like a Goku character that he doesn't kill or anything, or like what?
Well, not that he doesn't kill, right? But just like how he's a nice guy, cares about the people around him.
Still is a nice guy.
Well, no, after this one, I mean, is he still a nice guy? Most of the time. In this particular instance,
He's a nice guy still. He doesn't tolerate being pushed around and being
yeah, but he didn't have to.
trying to be killed 3 times, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying he didn't have he had a choice. I don't think he had a choice. What I'm saying though is he didn't have to. He seemed like he enjoyed it a little bit
He
too
didn't have
much.
to enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
I
I'm
don't
not
think he
saying
enjoyed it.
that. I felt like he did, but we can agree to disagree, or I'm open to being explain why I'm wrong. But they came in, they see that they're still alive, and they're like, either you D rank guy, you either kill that E rank, and then we'll cut you in on the profits, or we kill both of you. And side character, rich side character,
Rich side
um,
character.
yeah, rich side character, is like, yeah, I'm gonna stand by. He starts calling him boss, which I just
Yeah,
found.
gets so scared.
Yeah, he got so scared. He's like, I'm gonna do whatever just to. But anyway, he says I'm gonna stand by him, right? And so they decide they're gonna kill both of them. So the one spellcasting dude, just what would have killed Jinwoo previously, just blasted him against these rocks. He's knocking out. And a little bit before this happens, Jinwoo gets an alert saying, you have to kill these. You have 6 enemies in front of you. You have to kill them. Otherwise, you will receive an equal punishment.
Yeah, yeah,
Equivalent punishment,
appropriate punishment, yeah.
appropriate punishment. And did we? I don't know if it was a flashback or if it was in the same scene, but I think it said his appropriate punishment was his heart would stop if he doesn't.
Yeah, so, like, it said appropriate punishment, and then it switched, like, after, like, 5 or 10 seconds, it's like, your heart will stop.
Yeah, yeah. Almost like it saw that he was hesitating to do the killing, and so he's like, "We will either you kill them or we kill you. This system will kill you, right?"
Yeah.
And so, and granted, I say I don't think he had a choice either with or without this, system, empowering him, just because they were going to kill him anyway, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe he could figure out a way to run away or talk his way out of it, but it's highly unlikely. He probably would have had to fight no matter what. So, but then he realizes that he goes, "Huh, I'm not just benefiting from you. You're somehow benefiting from me, and you want to keep me alive."
Yeah.
Right? That's the only reason why you would raise the stakes and go, "I will kill you if you don't kill them, because uh you will be no benefit to me, otherwise."
Yeah.
So he gets up and they realize, "Oh wow, you must have taken it easy on him or whatever."
Yeah.
He walks up and I love that the one cocky guy, like, seriously, even if you are OP, to be so cocky as to walk up behind somebody and put yourself in a vulnerable position with your hand around his back, and like you're bringing him in for a side hug or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's just dumb. No matter who you are, no matter who you're going up against, because that's a vulnerable position to put yourself in. But anyway, he does that, and then Jinwoo just slices his head off with the
Yeah.
dagger, just like
Yeah.
clean cut, not even like like
Yeah.
hacked it, and then it's just just clean cut.
Yeah.
And everyone's
So
like, "How the hell did he?"
yeah, because like as soon as that happened, because me and Ops were watching together. As soon as that happened, I turned back and was like, no change up, no curve, straight gas.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so he does that, and they're all shocked, and they're like, "Well, they get ready to fight him, and he just proceeds to just with this dash ability that he's
Just
now
teleport,
acquired,
pretty much.
yeah, basically teleport, um, and takes them all out without even a moment's hesitation, just before they even have a chance to respond. And the one leader, the guy who's leading, I loved his little like, I they may be a C rank, but I'm not like other C ranks. And then he does this
Yeah.
like Super Saiyan leveling up thing where I'm just gonna call on this ability, and it had no effect. He just pushed him onto the ground, and after a back and forth, ended him. And that's where I thought he really seemed to enjoy it, because those blue eyes,
Yeah.
which I know those light up his perception, but just the look that it gave him makes me feel
Name
like
look
that
evil.
was made him look evil, and then and almost like someone else was controlling him almost, right?
Yeah.
But the little, the line there, you tried to kill me 3 times and now you ask for mercy,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You'll get away with this." He's like, "Didn't you say nothing gets out of this dungeon?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, what really showed his colors, his character the most was when he's like, Do you know who my brother is?" Which
Yeah.
automatically that shows you're not that special if you have to, like, use someone else to intimidate,
Yeah.
a person. Um,
And
and he
then
just
just completely
dies.
and then he decapitates him. And then,
Yep, yep.
and the side character, Eugen, is like, uh, "Don't worry about it, boss. I'll start the mining now."
'Cause he's terrified, and
I would be too.
he's he
'Cause
said,
he's oh, yeah, because he thinks he's a false ranker.
false ranker, which this is apparently another, this is another, aspect of the lore of this universe that just got introduced, that there are people out there who have higher abilities, but hide that and make themselves seem like they're a lower ranker, and he goes and in his head, he's like, "They're all psychotic. They're all
Yeah.
lunatics."
But
Right?
they all wanna kill people.
And it makes me wonder, and one of the thoughts I had is Jinwoo, is this not unique to him? Are there other people with this same sort of situation that they've fallen into? Um,
Yeah,
so
good
that's
point.
one thing I'm curious about. I kind of hope not, because I wanted this to be unique to him, like it's a special thing. But I won't hate it if it's a shared thing among other
Yeah.
hunters.
Yeah, other chosens.
Other chosens, yeah. Um, but yeah, I just thought that that was a really just intense scene. Honestly, I found that scene more intense than the boss fight.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely more intense.
Yeah, and so that's why it was so resonated with me when I talk about it. It's like, that's where I was like, I've been telling people again, I don't think he's necessarily a bad guy, but in this niche moment, we'll see how it explores. It seemed like he was just too into the fact that he was killing them. It wasn't like
Maybe he's
it was.
disassociating, you know?
That could be. That could be it. And this universe is, we're introduced to it at first, and it's like, yeah, there's some horror, there's, you should be afraid, and there's some horrors, but a lot of people view it as sort of just like, yep, just doing my daily dungeon, they're like, it's
I
no
would love
big
to do
deal.
that. You know, I would love if, like, that happened in, like, the real world, and I would not wanna be an E rank hunter, but I could be fine with a C rank.
If you were an E rank hunter, would you still hunt?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I would just be a lot more careful. Travel with an S rank healer.
Yeah. um, But you're right, it could be disassociating because this world is a lot uglier than we're initially led to believe, and maybe he's just finally, he's like, "Yep, this is no matter who you are, where you are, there's always gonna be someone out there to take advantage of you, so I might as well, if I can't beat him, join him." But
Yeah,
still, it just took me back because I was like, yeah, it's just I'm thinking of another, like, a Takamichi character who's
yeah.
rising up through the ranks.
Nothing like
He's tough.
Takamichi.
Nothing like Takamichi. It's like if Takamichi was like went nuts like Kiseki or something like that,
Yeah.
so that's why it was such a big moment for me. But
Who
we
who
can
who have you
now
been telling about Soul Leveling?
I told some people at work.
Oh, nice. Oh, the
Yeah.
people you work with, do they like anime?
Um n- do they like anime? That's like us? No.
Yeah, no one at my work likes anime, and the one person that did changed, teams.
Oh, yeah, that sucks, dude.
And I have so many
But I
people on
feel
my team, and not a single one of them likes anime. There's one that likes, like, gaming and, like, Baldur's Gate, but nothing no anime.
you so you real quick, just a quick side character. Someone texted me right before this. Uh, they're at I think they're at a comic book store or some sort of, but they were at some store and they were in the manga section and they sent a picture and they said, "Ah, my favorite manga." And guess what was dead center of this manga section?
Soul Leveling?
No,
Pokemon.
no,
Oh, Tokyo Revengers?
no. You're
Psycho-Pass.
not gonna get. Yeah, it was Jimmy Neutron.
What?
Somebody
Jimmy
put Jimmy
Neutron?
Neutron in the manga section.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. I was a little bit annoyed by that, but anyway. No, I've been telling people at work because I've been really pushing on like how anime isn't just some cartoon, right? There's a lot more to it than that. It's great storytelling. Um, you know, the animation is really awesome. The music is cool. Character development, like all that stuff. So
What did
I've
you
been
call it, a
hyping it up.
cartoon?
And I said it's not just a cartoon.
Yeah. There's this guy that I do jujitsu with, and he says, "Yeah, anime is just, Japanese cartoons," and I was like, "I hate you so much."
You fucking piece of shit. Get out of
Yeah.
here. You can jujitsu kaisen your ass out of here.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Love it.
Uh, but anyway, let's go back to the boss because I think I have 15 minutes left on my laptop before
That's
the
fine.
battery dies. So,
You're good, you're good.
um,
I mean, so, like, it starts obviously, like, the last episode before this one was, they got trapped in there, and then the 6 people were thinking, like, Sun Jin Woo and side character were gonna die because they're E and D rank, right? A
mhm,
and then Sun Jin Woo's like, "I bet I can take him myself." Uh
yeah,
And they s
it's like yeah,
and he starts fighting the spider. Can't pierce it with the dagger. The debuffs don't work because he can't pierce him, and he's thrown around, thrashed, right? And then he gets thrown into a wall, and then he remembers that he has the rewards that he didn't accept. So just full recovery, 100 back to 100% already. And like if that's any indication, right? And this is when I was first reading it and watching it now, I'm like that's going to come in handy so many times I feel like where he's not going to use it and then he's going to be thrashed down for the count, no energy left, full recovery.
yeah.
Is that what you're thinking when you first got that ability or first got those rewards?
Didn't even occur to me. I was still so fascinated with the idea of this sort of like uh simulation that he was interacting with,
Yeah.
in this quote unquote real world, and watching him sort of progress and how his body transforms. I was like really fascinated by that. Did the perks that he was getting though didn't even register until
Yeah.
now, and I was like, oh shit, that's really
Oh,
cool that
until
he
it
did.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, until it happened. But that just reinforces just people are gonna say he like an S plus rank because right if he full recovers and he knows that he was about to
To
collapse
lose.
and
Mhm.
die, but no one watching knows that. All they see is, oh, that didn't do anything to me. I'm just gonna get back up again.
Yeah, and then, I guess another thing too, I mean, obviously, he does that full recovery, and then he stabs him in the eye, obviously has no protection, and then gets all the debuffs and just keeps stabbing, stabbing, debuff, 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 and then eventually it falls, but, it was really cool to see that, and then, the 6 guys repel in, right, because the entrance is blocked. They're like, "Oh, he's gotta be tired," after he kills, everyone. That guy, like the leader, was like, "Oh, he has to be tired after defeating a boss by himself and all the members of my party." It's like, no, he had full recovery. He's fine.
Yeah, yeah. But and I barely, in that full recovery, like, he shortly after that full recovery, he started to take down that boss, and I'm willing to bet that his team had no impact on
No,
on
no impact at all
on his yeah, on his
because he
stamina
leveled up
level.
more after he finished the boss. So
Yeah. I love that line 'cause, like, "You don't know this, but I've been leveling up this whole time." It was, like, so just, like, this, sort of twisted secret that he shared. He's like, "You're not gonna be around to tell anybody," you know?
yeah, it's kind of like Light Yagami, and it's like I'm Akira, right?
Yeah, 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 very, like, Yagami type, moment, but
Yeah. What do you think about him? His height and his face is changing, while he's leveling up. Have you noticed that?
I have. I noticed it because when he came down and his sister walked up and he was instantly like, she bumped into him and he's like,
Are you
you
taller?
know, "Yeah, are you tall?" Yeah. What do I think about that? Um, I think that I honestly, I don't know. I think it's the one of the few indicators we have that this leveling up he's doing is actually having an impact on him.
Making a difference,
But
yeah.
I would have kinda liked it if he had stayed the same. Like this dweeby looking kid, but
No. That'd be horrible. I would hate that.
you would hate
Not
that if he
intimidating not
if
intimidating at all.
you're telling me that you want to when you're about to fight somebody, you wanna know that they can kick your ass? Or do you wanna be like, "I think I can kick his ass," and then he turns around, he's like, "I'm just gonna teleport behind you and and stab you in the back, and you won't even have a moment to blink." Like, what's scarier?
I want my main characters to look cool. I hate Takemichi because he doesn't look cool. He's like 5'4", like, trying to reach your head, trying to punch you. Whereas if Sun Jinwoo stayed the same, like he's 5'4" too, probably. I want him to be at least, 6 foot, being able to be intimidating.
Well,
I hate long
so
hair
yeah,
on
so
protagonists too.
you're thinking like how Aaron Yeager went from like this scrawny guy, and
Mhm.
in season 4 he's straight jacked and he's like
100%.
2 feet tall. Yeah, I still think it looks cool, and I'm not saying they should have changed it. I think I would have liked that angle if he was this dweeby kid who just has like this, you know, or kind of like how in oh, what is it in Digimon when that one
Digivolve?
character, huh?
Digivolve?
No, maybe it's not Digimon. What was the anime we watched that was, like, supposedly really bad and I liked it? It's the guy
Yu-Gi-Oh?
who, the Heart of the Cards.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! How, that guy and the other guy, they look completely different,
Oh, yeah.
I would have liked something like that. Like, when, he, sort of, like, transforms,
Well,
temporarily, and then he goes back.
do you think he's gonna keep changing?
Oh, yeah, I think he's gonna keep changing.
Alright then.
I think he's gonna get to a point where he doesn't look I'm suspecting he's not gonna look human anymore at some point.
Oh, really?
I Part of me is wondering if he's going to become if this is unique to him. I think I'm wondering wouldn't it be something if he became that god that he faced? Like that was like that's the end result of that, and it's like somehow been transferred to him or something like that, and he's becoming that that super powered monster.
Good theory.
I think I'm wrong because you have this look on your face that I'm wrong.
No, I think it's cool that, if somehow that throne monster sitting up there is Sun Jin Woo, and it's all big time thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but we'll see. I mean, I do think he's going to keep physically changing, and he's not going to look,
Do
you
you think
know,
there's a point where it stops? Like he's just like that's what he looks like from now on.
no.
No, that's fair.
I think that would get boring. So,
But yeah, I think that's
but
everything about the
great
episodes.
episode.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
Huh?
This is
Oh
gonna
yeah,
get better from here. Like every arc, no matter what arc, it just gets better and better.
yeah. I'm very, very excited. I'm getting like, um, I can't wait till the next week, and I'm gonna be so sad when the season 1 is over.
Just read it.
But I will. I'm gonna read it because I'm very
I've been
enthusiastic to see where it goes.
I've been rereading it, and I stayed up too late because I got up to like chapter 80, and I didn't go to bed till like 5 a couple nights ago.
But yeah, I think that's all I have to
That's all I got too.
say about it. Yeah.
Excited for it. Excited
Maybe
for you
what we
to.
can do is
I'm excited for you to experience it. That's what I'm really excited for.
do we want to real quick because my laptop is about to die. Do we want to after season 1 read through all the manga and then just talk about the like one big mega episode?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me move on to other anime,
So
I guess.
yeah.
I guess.
But anyway, all right, that's all
All
for
right.
me.
Same here. We'll catch you next time when we watch and review the latest episode of Soul Leveling.
Bye.